What's up, gang? First video with a webcam, so you can watch me, whatever, watch me while I'm working in here. I think today I've got this track that I'm working on. I really like the way it sounds. And I'm just gonna kind of chip away on getting it closer to finished. You can see I've got pretty much my whole arrangement in place. I was gonna say set, but I mean it's never set. We could end up like changing something completely, and who knows? Who knows? We're gonna have some fun with it. We'll start off just listening to this track a little bit. This is one I haven't released yet, so little secret intel here with this new one. So yeah, let's jump right into it, see what's going on, and see what we can do to make it better. So we're only really worried about this first half. I duplicated this out really just to kind of like test it out on some other speaker systems. Um, and I really like it, so I wanted it to go on longer, and I just duplicated the entire beginning. Um, Sometimes that is part of the writing process. You'll just duplicate the first half and then start making changes. Um, because I'm focusing so much on the first half right now, I'm just going to delete that whole second half until we nail the beginning part. Absolutely. And I'm already thinking some arrangement changes. I kind of think this goes on a little too long. Um, is it a sick beat? Yes, of course it's a sick beat. But do we want to listen to it endlessly? Probably not. So just tighten that up a little bit. And this intro also kind of drags on, but I think it just needs it needs some spiciness. We need some stuff going on. We need some things to be happening. Let's see what we got here. I've got this storm sound, which is okay. So I really like that, but I think it kind of interferes with the other stuff that's going on. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. The drums don't need to come in right off the rip if we're trying to set a little atmosphere. So let's see. I do still like how the drums kind of come in with like this. It's like reverb and delay and some other stuff going on. So I wanna keep some of that in. You know what I also need is like just a big old riser. I also need to label my tracks so I know what the heck I'm working on. So I'm just gonna go into this old Vengeance pack I have. It's been out for like 15 years, so I don't feel bad going in and just like using stuff because nobody's used, nobody, but most people are probably not using these. They're using Splicer or something. All right, so I like using risers, and this one's called a faller for some reason, a down sweep, just to kind of keep the energy moving. So it builds up in this first section. We're kind of we're gaining the interest there. We're getting things wound up. Also want this piano like way more reverby. I'm just trying to fill out the intro here. It needs more stuff. We can make this a little more interesting, I think. Okay, so that's getting pretty good. It still kind of like smashes into this intro part. So we need to figure out some way to bridge the soft stuff that has like the storm and all that with the part where the drums actually come in. Because I like how those are coming in right now. Okay. That's sounding pretty good. What the heck? All right. I'm liking that. And all we did was duplicate that first section. The next thing I'll do is add some variation in here. Make this a little more interesting. All right. I'll go ahead and flatten this so I can alter it. My computer's getting old, so it takes its time. I also have like 5 instances of Serum in this group that it's trying to like whittle down to an audio file. But you'll see why I'm doing this. Whenever it finishes. But yeah, overall, I like the way this song's coming together. It just needs some more variation. All right, sweet. That tube of bass. Sweet bass tube, bro. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hearing. Yeah, and so it's easier to chop up audio like this and like do these little edits than it is to do it in the MIDI. If I'm doing it in the MIDI, like I'm gonna have to go into the LFO of all 5 of those synths and line them up. Serum, LFO rate. Yeah, I'd have to go in and redo all of that. And I don't want to do that. So we make it audio and then we can chop it and flop it however we want. Might even want this longer. Yeah, cool. That's probably all we'll do to it today. What is? I don't need any of this right now. I don't need this right now. We'll get that later. So yeah, here's what we got so far. I think we beefed up our intro pretty good, leading into the main drop. And next thing I'll do is kind of just like keep tightening up the drop and really making sure it hits. I need to do a little energy management here in the intro to break section. Just kind of make sure that we're managing like the way the energy of the music is like building up and then kind of releasing a little bit and then building back up to like the drop, the big thing. So yeah, we'll just listen back to this one more time and kind of see how that sounds, and we'll call it a day. Cool, dude. Certified banger. Yeah, that's what we'll do for today. So thanks for coming and hanging out, and hopefully you learned a thing or two. All right. Peace.